Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this episode is late, but when I tell you it's worth it, it is worth it. It's an amazing episode. My friend, we're calling her Amanda, came on and talked about sugar dating, which I didn't realize is different than being a sugar baby. But she is anonymous, and I'm just having a fucking week. Like mentally, I am not well. Even though I'm so lucky to be able to stay with my friend Tim in LA, but at this point I am stuck in LA. When we recorded this episode, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just not flying because the fires, which I'm sure you guys have heard about now, up and down the West Coast, would make it really like unsafe to fly. And Ben's dad was saying that as well. Obsessed with me much. He didn't want me to die. And so I wasn't flying. And then yesterday I was like, all right, Ben, book my flight. And he's like, yeah, they aren't having flights come into Portland anymore. So that's how bad the air quality is. And yeah, if you have not heard about the fires, look them up, donate the Red Cross. We have a link down in our little written section down there. See that? See that down there on your phone that you're listening to? And yeah, you can donate, and it is a very nice thing to do if you can afford it. If not, just post about it. Raise awareness. I hadn't even heard about the fires until one of the companions wrote me. And Ben was dealing with them that day. He just hadn't told me yet. But yeah, awareness is good. And again, yeah, sorry that this episode is late. I also heard that Grace was like vomiting and stuff, and I got really nervous because all the Googles on there are like, your cat's gonna die. And I was like, that would happen, but she's not dead. She's great. She's being fed. She's still in Oregon. I'm really excited for this episode, though. Amanda is a great friend of mine. You're going to love her. And so I'm excited that she got to do this episode. And we are very lucky to be able to do this podcast. And it's our 100th episode. How exciting is that? I had no idea. I also love that it's episode 25 on 100. That just seems like really even and like good and in line with the world. So that's good news. If you feel like posting a little congratulations for our 100, we'd love it. And yeah, we're about to have some episodes this season that you might be like, Remy, why would you give these people a platform? And we probably will agree that like we don't want you to be like these people. So because this is the 100th episode, I'm going to start a code word with you guys. Whenever I have somebody on who I'm like, this isn't aspirational, we're just trying to get like their side of the story, I'm going to say a code word at the top of the episode, and that code word is chonk. So if I say chonk, just know that like maybe we look at that episode with like a different eye. Also, because I've just rambled and because I've told you like, meh, I'm sad, I want to tell you some good news too. Besides the 100th episode and chonk, something exciting happened on TikTok. I know I told you that I was looking at Draco Talk last week, but guess who's looking at it now? Tom Felton, who played Draco himself. Fans were a Twitter. Also, you know what makes me feel good about this episode being late or like really late is Love Island US had a late episode this week, and I just forgave them because that season's been fire. If you guys aren't watching it, Love Island US, watch it. I hope you guys forgive me. Thank you so much for being here. 100 episodes. I can't believe we've made it this far. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the people who make this possible. So I want to give a big shout out today to Allform. Helix has gone beyond the bedroom, started making sofas, and just launched a new company called Allform. They're making premium, customizable sofas and chairs shipped right to your door. To find your perfect sofa and get 20% off all orders, go to allform.com/howcome. That is allform, allform.com/howcome. So I am so excited to get this episode out to you guys. If you like this podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. We haven't been on the charts in such a long time, and my serotonin is low. Yeah, or just like slide into my DMs and talk about Love Island with me. I don't know. I'll just get therapy. Therapy would be the best. But yes, rate, review, subscribe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for still being here on this journey with me. And get ready for this episode because it's going to be awesome. If you want to see a video version of this, go to patreon.com/howcome. It is funny because Amanda is wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. She looks just like Damien from Mean Girls. And I am wearing just like full drag makeup because I got bored. No, it's not full drag. It's actually like embarrassing to drag. But yeah, go to patreon.com/howcome.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna just...
The inspiration for my look is Mean Girls.
I was going to say, you look very Mean Girls private.
Today I have like a pound of makeup on my
I
face.
was going to ask you what you did to your face today because I can kind of see it, but I also have sunglasses on. So it's like...
Tim and I wanted to buy more like eyeliner because I've run out. And then he was like, can we just do like drag makeup on you? So that's where...
That's amazing. That's great. Yeah. It's nice.
All right. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. So excited. You guys, this week we have a very special guest, a great friend of mine, anonymous.
You call me Amanda. That's always my alias.
Welcome, my friend Amanda.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to forget that. Let me write that name down.
Oh, wait. I need water. I've got such bad cotton mouth.
I can't tell you how many times I went on a date and someone was like, hey, Amanda. And I like wouldn't respond.
Because it's just not you.
I had one guy being like, he was like looking for me. And he's like, Amanda. And then finally I had to like look back and I was like, oh, he goes, I was calling your name.
That's me. I do that at coffee shops. At coffee shops, I give the wrong name and then they're like calling out
Shut
for
up,
coffee.
that's so
and I'm
funny.
like, I don't know who I am. I'm not Jess. Who am I?
Yeah. That at one point during that day goes, is your name Amanda? And I was like, no. And he was like, I wondered because you were not responding.
Okay.
I need water. Gets Coke.
Well, it was faster. Hello. How are you?
I'm great. Just had some great food.
Unreal. So we had our first guest, my friend Wendy Starling, on this podcast, season 1.
Yeah.
She is the only other sugar baby we have spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everyone's different.
Yeah. Yeah. We also have a connection, her and I.
A sexual one?
Yep.
Cool. Is it somebody that you guys have both sugar baby for?
Yeah.
Is it competitive?
No.
Okay,
It was
okay.
Not at all. It was just funny because I went on a date with this guy and he's like, oh, I mean, I've also dated comedians. And I was like, oh, like sugar baby. And he's like, yeah. He's like, one's kind of famous. And I was like, who? And he's like, I can't tell you. And then we drank more. So I was like, so who is it? He's like, I know a lot of them. He told me it was her.
Yeah. You hang out with a lot of comics. We love hanging out with you. I feel like you have told me so many stories, but I don't remember like most of them because I'm always high. So it's going to be like a first time meeting, even though we've known each other for a really long time and do consider ourselves quite close.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll repeat the best ones.
Amazing. Also, Robin, feel free to jump in at any time if you have any questions. Just so you know, our Robin's here because Gabrielle, listen, time zones are weird and we can't always make these things work. So you started sugar babying around when?
When I like first got to New York because I was like screwed with money.
Mm-hmm.
And
how old were you?
24. And it was very sparingly. It wasn't like, this is what I'm doing. This is my main income. Mm-hmm. It was more like, oh, you need to make rent this week. Like, maybe you can meet someone. Mm-hmm. It was more like, it was more one night stand, to be honest, like, which isn't really sugar babying. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. Okay. So you started then. How old are you now? 27. Okay. So how do you like go about doing that? If you're like, okay, I need money, I'm going to find guys who are willing to pay me for sex. Cause I feel like I can't even, or when I was single, couldn't even get someone to pay for a drink. I mean, you go on SA, seeking arrangements.
Seeking arrangements.
And
Okay.
yeah, that's like the main place. I mean, sometimes you can go, honestly, you can like go to Soho Grand and like post up, and
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, an older dude's gonna approach you, which is kind of crazy. But
And
that's more
ask you
like,
for like your
yeah,
services.
yeah, exactly. But that's more escort and like prostitution
Mm-hmm.
rather than just sugar babying. But yeah, you go on SA and it takes a long time to find someone that like you vibe with that's like not an older, like gross dude that you hate.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are. And you just
Mm-hmm.
start a conversation. You look at their profile, you look at their interests, what they're looking for. It tells you like, do I want long-term connection? Do I want this? Do I want that? And sometimes it'll say I want monogamous. So I never go for those
Why don't you ever go for monogamous?
because I'm not going to exclusively date anyone unless they're like my boyfriend that I can introduce to people. It's like not fair.
Because you wouldn't
Not
be able to make like an amount of money that you're comfortable with.
that, and like
And you'd
also
have to
like
be like really attracted to them.
really attracted. There's so much that goes on, and like it's like nearly impossible to date someone off SA monogamously. I tried it once, it sucked.
And like it's really about like matching up with somebody that you like and that you can spend time with.
Right, and it takes a minute, and you learn not quickly, but you start to learn just the way they approach you in their first message. I can tell if I like someone or not
Mm-hmm.
almost immediately. I mean, if I don't already figure out like through their profile if I'm gonna like them, but like if someone just says hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Like if you say hey to me on Tinder, I'm blocking you.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
got to
totally.
try. Like this is like
Yeah.
it
Read my
especially
bio,
with
say something about my cat. Like, come on.
yeah, something or like just anything. But yeah, if they say hey, or if they say, or the best or the cut and paste first
Uh,
ones, and I always know. And so then I would respond, so what did you like about my profile? I see there's a lot about you in this first message. And they
mm-hmm.
always hate that response. And I know it's not going to work. Like if you can't even like come up with your own message, then like we're not going to vibe, and like you're not trying to get to know me, you're just trying to bang.
Totally. Which is, it's interesting to say when you're doing sex work because a lot of people
Right.
would think that escorting or would be mainly for
Well,
sex.
yeah. Escorting is that. Escorting, I mean, you don't care what the connection really is because they're paying
Mm-hmm.
you to leave. Whereas like
Mm-hmm.
sugar babies, like you're getting paid. I would ask for 800, but I would stay with you for like 4 to 5 hours, if not sleep over the first night.
Mm-hmm.
Where escorts, it's by the hour.
Yeah, it's much more about like the experience and like having great conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And like having fun, and like you're just on a date. You're just having a good time. It's just at the end of it, like way better for you than most women.
Yeah.
That like if you're not in love with them, like it's dope.
Was there someone who initially told you about seeking arrangements? Like, did you have any friends that were doing it or any, like, what was the thing that made you comfortable?
I just have this fuck it policy in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of like I was like I need cash quick. Like I heard of it. I forget where I heard of it. I don't know, probably through social media or like some show or something. And I was like, is this like a
Just,
real thing? And then I looked up like the sites, and then I was just like, I did no research. I just really jumped in and was like, let's see what this is about. And then I realized like, oh, I could actually do this and like make a decent amount so that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck in New York City, and
mm-hmm.
like actually enjoy and have fun. And like I've gone to the coolest places
You really have.
because of it.
I would plug your Instagram right now, but we can't. This is an anonymous episode. But do you remember what was your first date like from SA?
Oh, that was such a long time ago. It was like awkward.
Okay.
It was just like I just had to really train my mind like this is just a date. Like don't think about it. Don't think about it. Try to be normal, be like nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the sex was really awkward. You know, the sex was pretty awkward.
What do you do like through moments like that? Like how do you get yourself, because I feel like if it's awkward for me, like I'm gonna dry up immediately, and like sex work is work for that reason.
I just kind of like disassociate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just being like, okay, it's going to be fine. Like make a bunch of noises. You've made multiple boyfriends think you've came before. Just do that. Like you were in a loveless relationship last time, like this time last year,
Mm-hmm.
just pretend. Like,
Yeah.
you
So you
know,
were
so
single when you
it's,
started doing it.
yeah,
And yeah, your relationship before that, you and I have talked about, but just so the listeners are kind of clued in, was
right.
not good. Very emotionally abusive.
Yeah, he's awful, dude. Well, so that was like, that one was, so I started sugar dating for like, I guess I just went on dates. I would say I was a sugar baby. And then I started dating that guy, the emotionally abusive one. So then I wasn't doing sugar dating during that, but we were so tumultuous that sometimes we'd be together for 2 months and break up. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
just awful. He like made sure like I just wasn't confident enough, you know, like he's the guy
Mm.
that tells you don't look good without makeup on.
Ugh.
So in all honesty, I go on these dates like in our intermittent periods, and like they would actually make you feel better because you have this guy
Mm.
there that's like, you're stunning. You're
Mm.
so beautiful. I love hanging
Hmm.
out with you. This is so great. And like it's a weird ego boost. Even though like they're not super attractive, you're just like, damn, like I am a catch, even if he's paying for
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah. A catch enough that he's paying for it.
yeah, exactly. Like he paid for me, and my abusive ex like went and fucked someone else. Like,
Destroys your confidence.
yeah. So that it was kind of nice to have it at the same time.
Definitely. Did you find that they were nicer than the like daters that you were meeting on apps and stuff?
Yes and no. It depends on like the level of sugar daddy they are.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's sugar daddy that has real money
Mm-hmm.
and like has had arrangements and like this is so normal for them, they pretty much just expect you to be great.
Mm.
And they can be a little misogynistic.
Mm.
They typically make a lot of comments about people who like make less than them or like don't live an affluent lifestyle, or like the ones
Uh-huh.
that I've gone. I don't know if that's for everybody, but they just like, they're bros. They're CEOs and they're bros, and like it's like every bro in college that like you knew might like root your drink, and you like try to stay away from them, but they become like oligarchs.
Yeah. Tim just keeps like opening the door and it's really annoying me. And I'm like, I've told him to please not do this. I'll close it.
Dude, I can't get over your look. Every time I look at my computer screen, I'm about to start laughing. So I'm like, I better not just look.
I keep looking at myself. I think it's real funny.
So good.
So when you've gone on dates with those guys who say horrible, misogynistic, elitist
Horrible
things,
things.
is that like very difficult for your psyche?
No, because then I'm in it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to take your money.
Mm.
It's like kind of like balancing it out. Like, this guy's a piece of shit. So like I have no problem ordering the most expensive drinks and having and like getting drunk and then fucking you and making you think it was the best thing ever, and then just calling you next week when like I need more money, or I just like honestly wouldn't see them again typically.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of
that's
times I
good.
just like couldn't stomach it and be like, oh, like
Yeah,
I
but
took
it
your
was
money
worth it
once.
for the night. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they take you to nice places. I mean, I'm going to the best restaurants in New York, the nicest lounges. Like we're going to like the Baccarat, shit like
Yeah,
that.
and you like that stuff. Like for me, I would be like, I hate putting on pants.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it is dressing though as well. Like
Oh yeah.
you and I will like, I'll be like, what are you doing today? And you're like, I'm getting ready for a date.
Right.
What does getting ready for a date look like when you are getting paid for that date?
You kind of have to keep up an appearance. Like the thing about that is you don't want to look like an escort. You want to look like it's just a regular date. But you dress really well. So like I just try to look like a professional with a little bit of an edge, like a professional like businesswoman. If I know their height, I'll always wear heels.
Okay. If you
if
know
I
that their
don't-
height is like tall enough.
Yeah, if their profile says 6'1", I'm gonna assume they're like 5'11", and I can wear a heel. And if not, there's a lot of like short guys on there. Then I'll just wear like a kitten heel or something, or like a nice pointed loafer, so it just looks professional. But then I'll just wear like a really tight dress or something. I always show off my curves. Like I always have a rule: show off one thing like aggressively, and then the other two just allude to them.
Okay. I like that rule
Because
for life.
Yeah, I mean I follow that in life, but like especially with dates.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I know the date and then I know what he likes and I know that he likes me looking super sexual, then I'm gonna like vamp it the fuck up.
But most of it you want to be like just a little demure so that like not everybody else in the restaurant is ogling you.
Right. But some of them love that. Some of them love when I'm wearing like a 3-inch or 4-inch heel and like I have like a bodycon dress on and I come in with like a really nice leather jacket and like I have like my blonde hair down because everyone like typically people look at blondes when they walk in just because they're like a shiny object. And so they like that. And they're like, and then when you go and sit down at their table and everyone's like, wow, this guy's lucky. It like
They
gives
love
them
that.
a high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the night's trophy.
That's part of the sugar baby thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trophy.
Yeah. It's like I can afford to take this beautiful little creature around with me. And she doesn't even like me. How amazing is that? No.
Yeah, and sometimes it's obvious that like he paid. Or there's something going on.
Yeah. Do you feel like your mental health and or perception of yourself has changed from sugar babying?
Yeah. I think it's also changed dramatically now that I'm in a relationship. So it's not really like I can go date anymore. You know, I'm not, that's cheating. Which is basically what.
So you're not working anymore.
No. It's like a first time in a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about your new boyfriend. Because obviously like you've had a terrible boyfriend. And people recently who have said things that like have just been not okay. And I've watched you go through these relationships and we've always talked about how like we cut them out and like you always do.
Right.
But this is the first time we're really seeing you get loved in the way that you deserve. And like every day I see something else or you tell me something else that he's doing. And like, I have never smiled so much for another person.
Stop. That's so sweet. Yeah.
It feels weird.
It's weird. It's weird. Trust me, it's weird. He does shit and I'm like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? When are you going to fuck up?
How did you guys meet?
We've been on Hinge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could be a Hinge partner. But yeah, no, it's crazy. And we almost didn't go on the date. Both of us were like, I don't know.
No way.
Then both of us were like, I don't know about this person. And then we went on the date and we hugged and we both said like that hug was like a huge indicator that like we had chemistry.
A hug is nice. A hug is like, I'm going to miss you. I had like a really nice time with you.
Yeah. And this was just the first hug and it was a lingered like first hug. Like it was like there was a rubbing.
Hips on hips, can squeeze his belly to yours. Warm.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so you guys met during Corona.
I did meet him during the pandemic, but both of us also didn't have lives and pretty much were quarantining. So we took this leap of faith to possibly kill each other and ended up becoming in a relationship.
Yeah, but you guys you were like very alone. So like.
Yeah, he was alone for 4 months. So was I.
You took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
When you're talking to people and dating, how early on do you tell them about SA and like what you do?
It's a great question. I normally wait a couple dates just because it's also like you ask like that mental health question, right? And I think people automatically assume like, oh, she must be mentally unstable if she does that.
Right.
And so I try to like talk about like my time in therapy before talking about sex work so they know that I do work on myself.
Yeah, and that you find it important.
There's a formula. Yeah, to like talk about things and to prove yourself and all of that. And then I'll typically tell them, although this happened, I told him because we were at a place, we were like having ice cream and a drink and this couple comes out of this seedy hotel and it's like and something on it says like no need for reservations or like daytime rates or something. He was like, oh, that doesn't sound right. Like yeah.
Oh, daytime rates.
Rates, yeah, daytime rates. Okay. And
I thought
and no.
I heard
know what you
something else.
No. And this couple walked out, and I was like, oh, that just happened. And he was like, you think? And I was like, you could just tell the vibe was off. Like you can tell once you've done it, when you see it. And we were talking, he's like, have you ever done that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I know a lot about it. I was like, that's why I can figure
You're like,
it out
it's
really
what
quick.
I do. It's what I live for. That's what I do best. Everything's a Disney reference these days, by the way, you guys. How Come Podcast, Disney Collection. If you didn't catch that, that was Ursula helping men like yourself.
Yeah. So that's how I told him. I do it within like 3 to 4 dates. And I don't date people who aren't super liberal and progressive because I can't.
You're like, I can't take you that far in the journey.
Yeah,
like, I can help
no.
some people, but you have to have already done a little bit of your reading on your own.
Yeah, exactly. And accept it.
How did he respond to it when you said that?
He said, no, that's cool. I respect that. It's a hustle. And like, I think it needs to be normalized, not stigmatized. And I was like, oh, okay.
You were like, did I just come?
Yeah. I was like, I don't even know if I'm there yet. Like, you're so woke.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that I've been running this podcast for like 3 years. It's been like a learning journey, like yada, yada, yada. But I through talking about all of these sex work conversations, I remembered I wrote a paper in 6th grade about why I said prostitution. I wouldn't call it that now, but why that should be legal in 6th grade.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I remember having the line, women wouldn't be at the mercy of their pimps.
Such a strong line.
At like 12. But like still believe it.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's totally true. It needs to, and he even said stuff like it would be more regulated. There'd be more to protect them. Like they need more support than what they have.
Yeah.
And those were like his words. And I was like, wow.
They would feel comfortable reporting something if anything happened. Like when you said that you didn't really look into it, I kind of like had this knee jerk, like, oh, like as like,
oh yeah, it was,
that feels really unsafe and scary.
So unsafe. That's the other thing though about like being a sugar baby. It's always a risk. Sex work is always a risk. I don't care how much you know, but every date you go on, you don't really know what to expect. And I guess you could say that about any Tinder date, but the fact that there's a man in power that is taking you on a date, like you don't know what could happen once the door closes.
Is it only ever men? Are there women on those sites as well who are seeking sugar babies? Do you ever work with them?
There are. I was talking to one and she's so hot. She's great, but it just was timing, didn't work out. I've had a lot of wives that are on it that are looking for threesomes. Okay. I did that a couple of times with this one couple that was great. That was so fun.
I was going to say, that sounds really fun and like a little safer element. I don't know.
It's safer. It's definitely safer to have a woman there. Yeah. But yeah. And you have to think about so many things. Like you have to go to public places. Like you don't just go to someone's apartment. They have to live in an apartment building, or like you have to get a hotel because there has to be a trace. Like someone has to be able to trace you if anything happens.
Which must also feel weird because you're also trying not to leave a trace.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, you're like, you have to figure out where in the city you can go. Like
you're like my Venmo's not my name, but I also want my friends to be able to find me if I go missing.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever shared your location with like a friend or a relative going on a date?
I have one friend that has my location all the time.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, share your locations just in case.
It's so important. You never know. There's some kooky people on that site.
Totally. Yeah, share your location, stay safe, do smart things. You know what I want to share with you guys actually? Okay, I think I've told the listeners this before, but I am obsessed with this new furniture company called Allform, and I'm bringing this up because I have been sleeping on a couch this entire week at Tim's, and it has been uncomfortable, and my back is killing me. And I don't like it. And I was like, I hate sleeping on a couch. And then I messaged Jane, Ben's mom, and I was like, I can't wait to get back, like when the flights start, because like this couch is so uncomfortable. And she goes, well, maybe you should get Tim a chaise from Allform, which I was like, are you? Yeah. Because so Allform, if you have not heard about them, is a company that was started by Helix. Helix is the mattress company that I am obsessed with. And yeah, they've gone beyond the bedroom and they are making premium customizable sofas and chairs that ship right to your door. And when we partnered up, they sent me this chaise that like me and Ben and, well, it was really just me and Ben's mom got to pick out because like we were quarantining at their house. And they shipped the chaise to the door. It was amazing because it took like no time to set up. It also took like 3 to 7 days to arrive, which was unexpected to me. I didn't think that that could happen, especially like because when I used to order sofas, it used to take like 3 weeks. And this one is like fully customizable. You pick out the materials and the legs and everything. And there's also like you can link them together. There's different size sofas. So like if you move houses, you can get like a small one and then a bigger one, or a bigger one and then like reduced to a smaller one. And they've got chaises and they've got chairs for your smaller apartments. But I love getting new furniture. And also they are so comfortable. And yeah, so basically that's what Jane was saying to me. She was like, Ray sleeps. I'm just going to tell you all about Ben's family. But Ben's dad apparently sleeps all day on the chaise after he reads. It's so cute. And his back never hurts. And he's like 70. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to try and convince Tim to get a new sofa. And you know what? I think you guys might want your own furniture too from Allform because they're amazing. And also like life is so boring and we're all going to go down. We're going to stay inside for a little longer. Like, it's coming. Gabrielle just told us that in Israel, they're going back into lockdown. And what is going to be fun anymore except like sprucing up your indoor space? I love sprucing up an indoor space. It can make any sadness go away, truly. Like you just rearrange the room, get a few nice, comfortable, stain-resistant sofas. Spill, stain, and scratch resistant. Hello. And you have a whole nice day for yourself and the rest of like however long the furniture lasts, which is probably a really long time because they have forever warranty. Again, they've got arms, chairs, love seats, all the way up to an 8-seat sectional. So there's something for everyone. And you can always start small, like I said, and buy more seats if you want later. Allform sofas are also directly delivered to your home with fast, free shipping. In the past, if you wanted to order a sofa, it could take so long and you would need someone to come and assemble it in your home. No. You do all the assembly yourself. There's no tools needed. It's incredible, I swear. We have that chaise and we love it. I can't wait to get back to it. I picked it out with Jane. She loved it. Still loves it. Ray's obsessed. It looks beautiful. Apparently Grace has been going in there and sitting on it. So cute. We'll have to post a pic. And the price is super reasonable. So if getting a sofa without trying it in store sounds like a little too risky for you, no need to worry. You get it 100 days, so you can decide to keep it or not. And that's more than 3 months. So if you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund, which is like awesome. And they have a forever warranty, literally forever. So these things are going to last a long time and be great. And you're going to have a nice time. So to find your perfect sofa or love seat or chaise, check out allform.com/howcome. And Allform is also offering 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/howcome. Again, that is allform.com/howcome. Okay, let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, you have to really navigate where you're going to go in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And where you're not going to show up because you don't want to run into people you know. One time someone tried to take me to a comedy show and I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. They were like,
why?
I
you
love
don't want to go to a comedy show?
no, I don't want to run into anyone. Like,
Oh, word.
yeah.
But like we all know, like don't you think like most of
It's
your friends?
I think they do. It's just also just like I'm it's like in a sense you are working, and it's
Mm,
just like you don't want everyone involved. Like,
mm-hmm.
like I don't want to run into like a good friend and they'll be like, "Hey," and me be like, "This sucks."
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like okay, so you work on yourself a good amount. We talk about therapy a lot.
Yeah.
And also that stigma that anybody going into sex work is like inherently fucked up, which who isn't
You
fucked up?
are.
We are all
Yeah.
fucked up.
And that's the other thing though, going to sex work, you've been through something,
You think?
most likely. I'd say 9 times out of 10, yeah, everyone that I know that's gone through it has like, like they don't have the strongest relationships in their
Mm-hmm.
life with people. But like, how could you if you're going to do sex work?
You think?
I mean, not, I shouldn't say that.
That's
It's just,
internalized anti-sex worker in you.
that's
Yeah.
totally. It's more just like you have to be able to like disassociate. And I think people who can disassociate have been through something
Mm-hmm.
because they know how to tap into it. Because I mean, I still do like, if I mean, God, I've been in a relationship for like a month now, but like before that, like you kind of tap out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know how, because it's just not the healthiest thing to do. Like, not every career is healthy.
You don't think it's healthy?
No, I don't think it's that healthy. I think,
Interesting.
yeah, I've like really grappled with that.
Okay.
I just don't think it's super healthy. I think it's super fun
Hmm.
and it's exciting and it's thrilling and it's an adrenaline rush.
Uh-huh.
But is it really good for your mental health? No, you have someone telling you you're worth a monetary amount.
But isn't everybody worth, I mean, like every type of work worth a certain amount? You know what I mean? I feel like it's just the stigma that
That's true. Maybe
having
it's like
sex with someone isn't a job. Like it, especially if they're gross, like I wouldn't be able to do that with a
right,
lot of people.
right. Yeah, I'd say like, I don't know. I could probably explore that more in therapy.
Yeah. Do you think it might just be not healthy for you personally or?
Maybe it's just me personally. But other people that I've spoken it about that think it's really good, I look at them and I'm like, you don't seem very satisfied
Mm,
with who you are as a person. But I guess you think it's healthy.
mm. See, when Wendy says that she is,
Yeah.
I believe it. You know what I mean? There are some people that I'm like, okay, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
necessarily believe it. But there are times that like when you were still working, I would be like, wow, Amanda really has an amazing like body image. You know, like
Yes,
you've taken
that's
me
really
shopping
healthy.
before and like witnessed my body dysmorphia and stuff. And I've just been
Right.
like, I am so fucking disgusting. And you were like, I'm so hot. And anyone witnessing me is so lucky.
Yeah. That it helps a lot with your body image. I gotta say that. Like I get naked in front of like a guy and they're just like, wow, like you have
Mm-hmm.
perfect tits. You have like such a great ass. And I'm like, I do. You're right. Yeah,
You're like, great
that's why
points.
you're
Thank you
giving
for bringing them up.
yeah, that's why you're giving me the amount I want. Because like, look,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not to mention I made you laugh. So
Totally.
that helps a
And you're
lot.
smart. Like you read the news. I'm always like,
Yeah.
Amanda is a geisha. Like it is quite the experience.
Thank you. I'm gonna tell every guy that.
Yeah. You're an American geisha. So generally when you start seeing somebody romantically, have they
Mhm.
asked you to stop working?
No one's
Mm-hmm.
ever asked me.
Mm-hmm.
I typically just stop. It's just like my own moral compass of
Okay.
like, I'm not gonna do this. Also, that's the other thing. It's very hard to date and also be a sugar baby.
Mm.
Because like it's so hard to invest yourself in two different people and like you have to be like, okay, well, this one isn't love and this one could be love. And let me give all of myself to both of them, because the more I give to like a sugar daddy, the more he's going to give me and take care of me. But also I'm going to give 150% to someone that like I'm dating. And it's very hard to like just compartmentalize. I find that
and
hard
also
to
your
do.
oxytocin is probably getting fucked with.
Yeah,
like your body is literally getting like tied. And I mean, I know that there's polyamorous people out there, and polyamorous sex workers are probably much better at doing this. But you're a very monogamous person.
Yeah, exactly.
Life.
So it's really hard. And even like with sugar daddies, like I've never been someone that just has like 5 people I'm seeing at once. Like it's typically like maybe 3, but it's typically 2. And I like to bring it down to 1 because it's just safer.
It's safer, and it's like you have to like memorize less facts about less people.
You do. I've totally messed up before.
Like I literally, when I was on like the apps, like just going on dates and shit, I'd be like, oh my God, how's your dog doing? And they'd be like, wrong guy.
Yeah. One time I went on a date with someone and I thought it was a sugar daddy who wanted to see me, but it was a guy that I'd been talking to on Tinder. And this was like 3 years ago. And I texted and I go, oh, can you send me an Uber? Because on sugar dates, I always make you send me an Uber because I need to know that you're actually going to follow through with the date. And if you sent me in an Uber, then you're probably going to be there. Rather than me spending money on an Uber and like hoping you refund me.
Totally.
But then I just have to like walk down the block. But yeah, and I texted this guy and I was like, yo, can you send me an Uber? And he was like, seriously? And I was like, I mean, it's no big deal. Like I can get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's interesting. He's never not sent me one. And I like show up to the date and I was like, oh, hey, how are you?
You're just a guy.
I'll never forget it. And I was like, okay, great, we're doing this.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Do you like him, or did you like him?
No. He sucked. He was so boring.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like, and not to say that every guy that you're going to date seriously has to pay for your lifestyle, but if you're going to break up with your career to start dating someone, do you expect them to kind of like supplement?
I used to. Now I don't. Now it's more like, all right, you have to like provide your own shit. This is also why you have savings. And like now I'm pursuing more things on my own and like my creative outlets and stuff, and making sure like, okay, like handle yourself. But like also like most guys want to take care of me. I don't know why.
You're like, I'm just cute.
Yeah. Hey, I have no mom.
They just see somebody.
Yeah.
You say, I have no mom. Yeah, she has no mom. She doesn't talk to her dad.
Yeah. I'm all alone.
She's got some history of darkness.
Yeah. And they like that. I don't know. Guys like that.
They like to be a knight in shining armor. I mean, that's another narrative that we've all been sold, is like, you are a very valid guy if you can save a weak woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not a weak woman though.
No, I'm totally not. Sometimes I'll just play that because I like need something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know how to manipulate it.
And I'm not saying act dumb, girls, but I will say I did share something on my story the other day, and I do want to talk about your stories because like you've been posting some really good shit recently.
Thank you.
But I was posting just about like, you know, we're going through a lot of social justice conversations. A lot of people are having like a tough time talking to their family members and stuff. And one of the things, like somebody asked me, because she's teaching some young conservative girls who are saying like anti-BLM stuff or anti-LGBT stuff, you know, like whatever. People are saying whatever they're saying. And she's like, how do I deal with that? And I was like, just say like really smart stuff, but like say it with questions.
Like, that's smart. Yeah.
Know, like,
if somebody is like, oh, we can't move back to our neighborhood because there's too many Chinese, like, I'd be like, oh, but you can't think that, right? Because you like all people, right?
Right. And just like kind of
Or
back
kind of
them
just
into a
like,
corner.
yeah, instead of the way that I've been doing it, which is like, are you fucking kidding? This is whatever. It's not
Yeah.
like when you just say smart stuff, but say it in a really dumb, questioning way.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's called the Socratic method. Like, you just keep asking questions until
I've heard people
like
say that so many times.
Yeah, like Socrates. Hey. Just ask them questions and keep explaining themselves. Like, literally, somebody made a racist joke the other day. And I was like, oh, I don't get that. And then they had to explain the joke. And I was like, okay, but why is that funny? And then it was like, at the end of it, it was like, well, it's like a stereotype about da-da-da. And I was like, oh. So is the joke racism is funny?
Uh-huh.
And they were like, Like, it really,
nice. That's great. That's so odd.
Like, you just kind of like keep asking questions. But yeah, let's talk about your stories. And I think I'm going to let Robin jump in because she's been very inspired and finds them very motivational.
Me? Oh, you find okay.
Yeah, no, what did I even say? Like, because recently your stories have been like, kind of like know your worth in like a relationship. And if someone's treating you like this, or like not saying this, or not, like,
right. Oh yeah.
You kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. So like your stories have like recently, like, I haven't even known you for that long, but recently they've kind of taken a turn. It's been like a couple months, but recently they've gone from like not being like that to being very like empowering and like motivational and everything. Like,
oh yeah, it's just annoying. I have friends that are in relationships that it's just not in relationships. They're just like dating these guys that treat them like shit. And it's like, why are we settling?
So you're subtweeting.
Well, yeah, legit.
Yeah. Oh, totally am. And I know they're reading it, and I know it like hurts, and it's gotta sting when they read it. But it's like sometimes you just have to sting someone to make them be like, wake up. And then
exactly. Great. Like if the shoe fits.
Yeah, like if your gut reaction to my post is like, ooh, then like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, no, totally. But so do you think, no, I'm not gonna be able to word this. Do you think that your like varying relationship types you've had, being like whether it was from seeking arrangements or like just from Hinge or whatever, do you think that the fact that you have dated from like two different sort of areas has impacted how you view other people's relationships?
Yeah.
And your own?
Totally. That's a great question. Yeah, I do, because it's like I don't think people realize there's always an imbalance, or there's often an imbalance in a relationship. So like like for me personally, I get ready and it takes me like 45 minutes to an hour to get ready for a date. And I'm using really nice skin stuff, and I'm using really nice makeup, and I'm wearing really nice clothes. And how do you think I can afford those clothes if I'm not with someone that somewhat supports me? And so when I see women go on a date and like they split the bill, I'm like, are you kidding?
That's me, baby.
Because you would have walked on the street, you got catcalled 6 times and still had to be in a good mood and sit down in that chair and like have a great date. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, guys don't have to deal with that. They take a shower and they throw on some wrinkled shirt and jeans that probably don't fit that well and just expect you to like want to suck their dick.
They put a cap over their greasy hair and like we're expected to swoon? I don't think so.
Yeah, like you're going to get me a couple drinks and you're going to pay for my meal, and then maybe I'll swoon a little more.
I mean, I am disgusting and never got ready for dates, so I never felt like
okay. Okay.
But it's different when they're paying for the experience.
Yeah. And that's like just like at the beginning. And like when I start dating someone, it's a lot different. I'm not like, I need your money and you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. Like, I'm not saying like, yeah, what?
That's like in the initial sort of when you're scoping out the person, you're kind of
Yeah, like I want
how
to
are
see
they treating me to win me over?
right. And like, are you respecting me? And are you basically, are you saying thank you for showing up on this date?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Are
I
they just
didn't
taking it
have
for
to.
granted?
Yeah, I didn't have to. Someone else could have taken me, I promise. Like,
I promise.
Know your worth.
and yeah. And I think that comes with sugar dating though, is because like I know I'm worth it. Like I know I'm a good ass date. Like I know you're gonna have a good time with me. Most of my friends are like, if they want to go out and have a fun night, they're like, what is Amanda doing? If they want to have a fun night and I go out. And then I'm like, yeah, like let's get crazy. Like whatever.
Yeah, you're always
like,
a down ass time. It's fantastic.
yeah. So it's just like I expect more on a date, probably because of the essay.
Yeah. It's just so interesting because it's like this juxtaposition of like feeling worth more, but also feeling worth less at different times.
Right. That's the other thing. It's like you go on this date and you're like, oh, he's paying me. But sometimes you're like, fuck, like I'm getting paid to be here. Like this is a little bit shitty. And like it's a little bit like, am I taking advantage of this guy? And then you have to reel it back in and be like, no, he wanted this. He's very aware of the terms. And like it is what it is.
Well, you're really empathetic too. That's the other thing. It's like it's not even guilt over what you're doing. You're like, am I taking advantage? It's like, no, sweetheart.
It's hard. It's hard to be like an internally good person and then go be like a successful sugar baby. Cause like honestly, a lot of times like you kind of have to do shitty things and like you have to manipulate them and shit like that. Like you kind of have
what
to
kind
say
of shit do you like feel bad about mostly?
Like I'll kind of tell them like I know I'm really great and like there's a reason why you're with me and this wouldn't happen in any other situation. So yes, you need to take care of me. Like you wouldn't get me if you were walking down the street. And I have to say
it's
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
like you have to like mentally abuse them the way that like like people you and I both have been in relationships with people who don't want our confidence to be so high because it's like a control tactic.
Totally.
And that's what you're kind of doing. So like you've been in those shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And you also it's like I'm doing that, but I'm trying to do it with care at the same time. But like I also have to have it benefit me.
Yeah, you also don't want to like create any incels, which
yeah, exactly. Like also it's like I feel like it's my responsibility for them. Like let's say we date for 6 months or whatever, and then you're gonna go see a new girl. Like I don't want you to treat her like shit because of like something I did in our arrangement that allows you to now think like of women differently.
Yeah, campfire rule. Leave someone better than from when you found them or whatever and like do no harm, essentially.
Right.
Have you ever have you ever felt like you were in a situation where an SA person was trying to do you harm?
In what way? Like financially or physically?
Anyway.
Financially they've tried. Financially I've gotten scammed before. I've also had a guy I had a guy tell me like there's been a couple of times where I just like you don't really discuss the amount because like it's hard to discuss the amount but then make it seem like a normal relationship.
Yeah, like effortless.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been a couple times where I don't talk about it. I'm like, no, you're attractive. We get along. Like, I'm sure you'll take care of me. Like, obviously I'll hold up my end. And I had someone just like give me a wad of money that should have been 800. Like we like kind of discussed it. I was like, well, that's like my ballpark and like, it's up to you. And I want to make sure you're as comfortable as I am because that's the only way we're going to have fun. And it was like 400. And it was just like a lot of 20s. And I was like, you're scummy. But It's also like the thing is like what goes around comes around, especially with SA. So if you're gonna fuck over one girl, some girl's probably gonna fuck you over a lot harder because it's easier for a girl to sometimes. Like they can take your money. Who knows, like what if they like weren't safe with someone else and then they decide not to be safe with you and they gave you something? Like who knows? Like it's like, and when it comes to like paying for sex world, I don't want any bad juju out there. And so I'm always shocked when some other guy does that. I'm just like, dude, you're putting yourself in a position that's like not good. Also, I'm smart and I can figure out who most of my guys are. And like I look at
so
their
they don't
cards.
ever use their real names on SA?
Not always.
Okay.
Like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but they won't tell you the last name. But I just ask enough key questions that I figure out like who they are or try to, just so it's like a backup.
We can find
like,
anyone. Women should run the CIA, to be fair. Like we can find your ex. The only person I haven't been able to find is Alex from Cancun, who said good evening. If you get that reference, you are a true companion. But yeah,
honestly, not gonna lie, I've searched for him.
I've searched for Rob. If anybody could
Alex.
do it, it would be you. He has a cousin named James, if that helps.
Okay, that'll help. I've searched everywhere.
Good evening, Alex. Maybe he listens to this podcast. Hey, were you 15 in Cancun and you said good evening to a 13-year-old who would not stop staring at you for the week? Call in.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So I find it crazy when a guy is kind of a dick to you, but they brought you to his apartment. And I'm like, I know where you live.
I know where you live. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? What, you're going to be an asshole to me when I know where you live and you're fucking with my money?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be joking. And then I had a friend who had a PI. So there's a couple people that I've like given a number to, and I know their first name, and they've like done some like research on those people for me.
Nice.
Also, that's the other thing about New York. You never know who someone else knows, or like any major city, but especially in New York. So it's like, don't fuck with someone that you don't know well enough, because you have no idea who they know and what they've already figured out about you, or like how they can make sure like you're not going to screw them over because of who they know.
Totally. Do you think if you weren't in New York, because you're not from New York, you're from Connecticut. Do you think if you didn't live in New York, you would still go on SA, or is it strictly because the rent is so fucking high in the city?
It's because it's so high. And like,
yeah,
why would you want to go on SA if you're not in a city? You know, like, what are you going to do?
You think
like,
you wouldn't meet as interesting of people?
You wouldn't meet as interesting of people. You're not going to go on fun dates unless someone's flying you out, which is, I don't think that happens very often. I've gotten flown out 3 times. But
whoa, what's that like?
Well, one guy, we were like FaceTiming. He's like, do you want to go to Florida? And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And like we FaceTime for like 20 minutes, and he's like, you seem cool. And I was like, so do you. And he had like this huge house on the beach, and I had my own room, and we just like went out and whatever. But he was kind of a dick. He kind of sucked. That guy sucked. And he also didn't give me as much as he should have, and he knows that. But it was also like a free vacation, and like I got to go to the beach and whatever. I got out of New York for the weekend.
Enough. Yeah, enough of what I
wanted.
And
we went golfing, you know, older man sport. So that was fun, kind of. The really fun one was a guy
Vegas.
who I met, that took me to Vegas. You know, you saw that story.
Yeah, bitch.
My Insta story was lit that weekend.
Yeah, it was insane. I was like, she is living the life.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully he's nice as well.
Yeah, that was with A. We'll call him A. But he flew me out the day after Christmas, and surprised me with first class. He got an Aria suite, which is a gorgeous room. The Aria Hotel is probably one of the best hotels in Vegas. Those are like the most expensive rooms. They overlook the strip and the mountains. Yeah, we went to a VIP experience of COD, the Cirque du Soleil show. So we got like a backstage access and got to talk to some of the actors and like all of that. We got like free drink, well, not free, but drinks and food like at the event.
Yeah.
Then we went to this crazy tasting menu that was like over $1,000 at least. To like, it was insane how much that cost. And then we went to Hakkasan, the club, and he got a table. Tables are so much money in Vegas.
So much money.
And then
wait, how do you fuck after eating like that? Like,
I mean, you stay up till like 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
And you shit it out before.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you're just like, whatever. I'm
literally.
Yeah. Like suck it up. And then
because it's not like you're not going to eat the food. Like you want to be respectful and eat the food and have the experience and eat the fucking food. Like, it's fun. It's tasty.
And then then he got me VIP seating tickets to go see Lady Gaga.
Unreal.
And we had like full bottle service the whole time. And like Lady Gaga was like flying over my head at one point. It was sick.
So fun.
Yeah, that was unreal. And then I got flown out to Jacksonville for a ski weekend. That was pretty sick. Not Jacksonville, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is like one of the top ski places in the country.
Did you have to get your own ski gear or he got you ski gear?
Oh, he got everything. Everything was paid for. Like I didn't pay for anything.
Wild.
Yeah.
Lift ticket?
Oh, lift ticket. He paid for all the food at the Four Seasons. It was sick. And then we went and we toured Yellowstone during the winter on snowmobiles, and that was fucking dope as shit.
That sounds insane.
Yeah,
all of this, by the way, nobody can do now.
Yeah. Yeah, those were really fun times. I mean, you can still go to Vegas and like risk most likely get corona, but
yeah, don't though.
Don't. Yeah, so I did that. I've been flown out to Vegas before, but it wasn't really like a sugar daddy. It was just a guy I had met at a bar, and then he took me shopping one time, and then he came to New York again and took me shopping again, and then he asked me if I want to go to Vegas, so he flew me out to Vegas. That was just at a bar though. He just like met me at a bar.
How do you get comfortable accepting stuff?
I'm selfish. And I
mean, so am I, but there's still something in me that's uncomfortable with accepting stuff.
I think it's more probably that I feel entitled to it. I never had much growing up. I was never given stuff. I always had to buy stuff. I always had to buy my own stuff. Like I got a Dell computer, but like that was probably the nicest thing I got. And it was like a Dell computer. Yeah. I just always had to pay for myself.
Yeah.
My entire life. So it's like really nice not to.
Totally. It's also like what's interesting to me too is like I grew up going to these fucking fancy ass places and I still feel uncomfortable. Like how do you fake comfort? Or are you genuinely that comfortable?
I'm super comfortable. I find it like a game. It's like this game. I'm going to this crazy expensive place and like I haven't been there, but like I'm going to make every single person think I've been going here my whole life. And it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's like almost like I'm an actor and I just get to go into this place and like I'm going to make everyone like me. And it's really fun. Also the fact that I know it sounds dumb, but when you're in those situations, you have to dress a certain way. And because that's what I do for a living and like I know how to dress people, I know exactly how to dress for every single situation.
I was going to say, can we talk about your passion and what you actually do and what you want to do? I mean, not that you don't actually do this, but you're not right now. No. Yeah.
I mean, I style people. I make them feel good about their outfits and confident.
She was like, Remy, you look like shit on stage. Can you start wearing pants and a little heel?
I was
took me
not that
dress.
blunt. I was just
No,
like,
not
do
that.
you want me to help you?
Yeah. Are you okay?
You could look so good. So
Okay.
yeah, I really like to do that.
Yeah. And you're
And
good
like
at it.
actually
And
working.
like, I feel like it really fed into the essay stuff as well, because like you could feel so confident, like just picking shit out for people and being like, yes, spend your money here. This is going to make you look good. Like having that like kind
Right.
of assertion.
Yo, yeah, I'm so assertive with that stuff. It's so easy for me. And like
Mm-hmm.
also like I understand money and I understand people's net worth now a lot
Mm-hmm.
better because of essay,
Mm-hmm.
which helped a lot.
Has a sugar daddy ever asked you to include anybody else?
Yes,
And
they
what
always
was that
do.
like? Okay.
Um, it's fun. I mean, I used to have a girl that like there's this one guy I was seeing and like we would see a guy together. And so
Mm-hmm.
her and I would do like a couple things together. Like we'd see this one guy together and then I was seeing a guy and she was seeing a guy. So like I would go see her with her guy and she'd go see me with my guy. And then we'd see the guy
Mm-hmm.
that we were seeing together. So that was fun. You always make more money.
Okay. Are you attracted to all genders?
Yeah. Which is also
So
great.
there's,
So I'm just hooking up with
yeah.
this hot woman. And also like you're
Yeah.
with a dude that like you might not really like. So like I'm gonna come with her. And like I'm
Right.
still getting a lot out of it.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how often are you coming with people that you're seeing, or like when you were?
They're confident I am every single time, but
They are confident you are every single time.
they walk out of that like I just did a good ass job. But I
That's
feel
not
like
good for the rest of us, but I understand.
yeah, it's probably 8 out of 10. I'd say. I come
That's
though,
not
like
bad.
I know how
Yeah.
to come. I'm
Yeah.
really good at coming.
Yeah. You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, and my body like I'm lucky where I can come like vaginally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's all the same.
Internally. Yeah, it's all the
Internally,
same.
yeah, it's all the same.
Look at her.
But
She's learned
I
so
can.
much.
I know.
We've taught each other so much.
So much. Yes. So I can come like with like penetration both anally and vaginally, and I can like make myself come with my clit in like a few minutes.
How old were you the first time you ever came?
23.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I've learned a lot in the past 5 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It just happened. I just like let go. And like finally I just like came with my boyfriend. I was like, holy fuck, that's what that is?
Uh-huh.
And then we fucked a lot more. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I was having sex without doing that. Like what even was sex?
And you weren't masturbating before, or like enough to get there?
I was using a toy. I just literally couldn't let go. I was so tense. And then I was just with the right guy. And I came, the first time I came was anally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't think
so
I've ever
that's
told
kind
you
of
that.
tough to discover that on your own.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. No one's like, just put a dildo up your ass and like ride it and play with your vibrator. You're going to come.
Yeah, except us. Like, we're like, if you've tried everything else, stick something up your ass.
Yeah, they probably you'll love it.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
And so that just unlocked everything because you can do it other ways. But it was just like, okay, now I've had the feeling, I know what happens. Yeah.
Right. If I stimulate more than one thing at once, it figures itself out pretty quickly.
Plug up them holes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And then it was
plug
just
your nose, plug your ears, plug your ass.
Yeah, all of those things. Just make sure you can breathe.
After college, were you able to find work in your industry, like in fashion?
No. I mean, I didn't go for fashion. I was a nanny for a few years. And then I broke up with an ex. And I said, I'm moving to New York, and I had $1,300 in my account, and I moved to New York.
Yeah.
And then I got a job on Madison Avenue as like one of the stylists for a store there.
Cool.
Like out of like 50 other applicants, and that was when I was like, "Oh, you're good at this."
Yeah. No, you're really good at stuff. Like I hate
Thanks.
shopping, and I really enjoy doing it with Amanda.
We should do it again when we can, or I'll just
When
come
we
visit
can.
you. Yeah.
You should.
No, I'm going to. I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
When you go back to Oregon.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, also, you guys, we haven't talked about this, but speaking of Oregon, speaking of California, there are wildfires as
Yes.
fuck that are ravaging the
fucking
West
awful.
Coast. I don't know if you have seen it in the news. If you haven't, and this is the first sign, like they're really bad. Look at the internet, and if you can donate, people are losing their homes. There's just not enough help to fight them. Ben, it took him like 10 hours to get home the other day in Oregon,
Wow.
from Central Oregon, because the fires were stopping all of the freeways. I'm still in LA because we don't think it's safe to like fly back right now with the smoke
I
in
was
the sky.
wondering. Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys could donate to the Red Cross, we're also going to post some links below in the description of this episode. But yeah, any kind of posting or awareness that you can raise, or donations if you're able to, would be very welcome.
You can also, if you're
Yep.
donating,
Yep.
and you can text relief to. Should I say the number? Fuck! I just fell off my chair. Sorry. Should I say the number, or do we want to just chuck in the description?
Say the number.
Oh, cute. You can donate by texting the word relief to 503-226-5088, which is the American Red Cross.
Mm-hmm.
And then help. Should be cute.
Pretty cute. All right, so now let's talk about your happiness, which
Yes.
is your sweet boyfriend.
He's so
what is the
sweet.
cutest thing he has done for you? Or just name several.
Probably the cutest thing was I had a depressive episode one
Mhm.
day, and like I was really upset he couldn't talk to me, and I had a really bad night the night before because my neighbors were being awful.
Mhm.
And this man invites me over, has like candles lit, and just has a rose petaled heart on the floor
Oh.
just to create like a really nice mood and to tell me like he cares about me and he wanted me to feel calm when I walked in. So he had that.
That's, I mean, besides like even like the physical gesture of like buying roses and stuff, like just somebody who can support your mental health has been really lovely to see.
Life changing. He's really
I've
incredible.
Seen you after like some guys and you're like, I literally want to fucking kill myself because of the thing that he's said about, I can't handle your mental health problems. You're too much for me, you know.
Yeah, they're too much for me. God, it's like the worst thing anyone can say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's done that. He knew I didn't have like any like sleeping clothes here, so he got me like a cute teddy nightgown and like surprised that with me one day. Yeah, he's really sweet. One day he just like picked up flowers because he wanted the apartment to look nicer for when I got there.
Aww. Cute.
He's hired he hires cleaning people because he wants it to be clean.
Just for you, to impress you.
Yeah, he's very, very, very sweet.
And it was like totally out of nowhere. He like he fell so hard so fast.
Yeah, so fast. It was crazy. And says things like, I'm like, today we're like making out, and he goes, I'm falling for you more and more every single day.
Oh,
I know.
You're literally in like a romance novel.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so cute. And like, I know, like, it's always annoying for, I'm sure there are single listeners out there who are like, ugh, we don't want to hear about somebody's happy, or, like, cause like it can be,
Totally. It's
this whole
annoying
virus has
sometimes.
been so isolating when you're single. It's so isolating, but I love to hear about this because you have had so many people who have made it so you could feel less than. And now here is somebody who has came in and really sees you for your value and like values you and like, I don't
And
know, like
beyond
even you
sex.
sometimes are judging yourself for sex work and like he's not.
He's not at all, which is just wild. He also really values me beyond sex. Like the other day, he was like, "Is there any class you want to take that would like help you with your business, or what do you need to be successful?" And like, I'll help you pay for that or pay for it entirely so that like you can get to the place where you want to be.
He's good. Yeah, we're keeping him.
Should
You
we
can bring
talk
him
about
out.
how he's on a reality show? And it's
And
annoying.
why?
It's just like, I think it's the insecurity in me of like girls DMing him.
Oh, so they all the time?
When it first started, I have a crazy fucking story to tell you. I don't know if I can really go on the record. I can't because it like involves his shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, that's not great.
Yeah. But like he was on a dating show. So of course people are going to be sliding in all the time wondering if he's like still single.
Yeah. And like people are kind of mean to him sometimes on the internet, which I feel really bad about.
Oh.
Yeah. That's really mean. So I'll like
get
go
a good
into
edit.
Yeah, he did not get a good edit. Poor guy.
But
guy.
whatever. More for you.
Yeah. More for me. And I mean, he didn't get a good edit, but he still got bitches in his inbox. So, I mean, it couldn't be that bad of an edit.
Pow, pow, pow. Yeah, exactly.
All
right. Well, this has. Sorry.
No, it's it.
Okay. Robin, do you have any other questions? Okay,
No,
cool.
I think I'm chill.
DM me.
I was going to say, if anybody has any other questions for Amanda, please DM us. We're going to have extras on Patreon. I'll forward them to her and then we can answer them, or we can do a Patreon episode where we answer those episodes.
Totally.
Together and call each other again. And you can dress up as Damien from Mean Girls and I'll have on some drag eye makeup.
Totally. All right.
Amanda, it has been so nice having you on this podcast. I'm so glad you finally got to be here.
Yeah, I feel honored, honestly.
Oh, you stop.
No, I do. I tell all my friends about your podcast. And they're all like,
you really
wow,
are the best.
So good. I ruthlessly promote your podcast on Facebook groups too.
I know. It's crazy. I feel such a huge badge of honor that I'm like, I can't believe I've taught a sex worker things.
Hell yeah. No,
About
it's fucking
sex.
awesome.
But yeah, I can't wait to see you. Hopefully you can visit us soon. All right. I have to ask this to everybody after a sexual experience, which this has been. Amanda, did you finish?
Yeah. Yep. Always.
Okay, good. I'm so glad. Robin, did you finish?
Oh, I sure did, man. All the time. Did you?
Oh, yeah. I really did. All the time. Yeah. You guys.
Did you just repeat everything I just said exactly the same? Because it sounded like
I don't know.
I feel like you did.
I might have. You guys, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I feel great about this.
Okay.
Great.
I feel great about it too. Thank you for coming. And you guys, we will see you next time on How Come. Goodbye.
Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I've still got a ways to go. oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz